Hi everyone, Chris Natsky here with Black Belt Leadership Speaking and Coaching with your weekly Mind of a Champion tip of the week on Facebook Live. You know, I have the honor to do these Facebook Lives every week around 11:30 a.m. every Tuesday, and I just wanted to send out an invitation. If you are watching and you want to participate, please let me know you're here. And if you are watching this and you want to comment later on after you're watching the replay, just hit hashtag replay and let me know how you saw it. So this week I want to talk to you about a topic that I've been thinking about for a while, and it's basically this. I've entitled it How to Transform from Have-Tos into Get-Tos. From Have-Tos into Get-Tos. You know, it's interesting that, how I find in my own life how just a simple shift in consciousness can make a tremendous difference in my life in terms of how I view things and the steps that I take. And I see that in my clients and in my family and in my friends, et cetera, et cetera. And several years ago, I found myself in a position I thought I would never find myself in. Divorced and as a single dad. After a 26-year relationship had ended, I found myself parenting our son, Jason, who at the time was 13 years old, while his mom had decided to leave Denver and move to the big island of Hawaii. Now, it was an incredibly challenging time for me because not only was I dealing with being on my own after being with a significant other for several years, but also now all the challenges that come along with being a single dad. Now, I want to just make one point here. I'm not complaining about being a single dad. In fact, Jason is and was probably one of the best sons you could ever have. Even though that time was really challenging for us, he was upbeat, he was positive, he was well behaved, he was a great student, and quite honestly, he was and continues to be my best friend. So that's not what the point of this video is. But the point of the video is as I was going through this process, I was having a really difficult time managing all of the things that come along with single parenthood, while at the same time trying to balance my own life and my own business. And, you know, it had to do with getting up early and taking Jason to school and then picking him up and taking him to a friend's house and taking him to work, etc. And I was getting really overwhelmed and quite honestly pretty grumpy. So one day I was in the parking lot of the high school waiting for Jason to come on out. And I was on the phone with my good friend Tom. Excuse me. And as we were speaking, I was wailing. I was just so crabby. I'm like, Tom, this really sucks. I feel like I'm nothing but a chauffeur. I'm having to pick Jason up, or take him to school and pick him up from school and take him on his little dates. And hey, Danny, good to have you join us, brother. And so anyway, I'm going on and on about this situation. And finally, when I exhaust myself, there's a break in the conversation, which is then silence. And then my friend Tom says to me, he says, hey, Chris, just remember one thing. You don't have to take him to school. You get to take him to school. A direct hit on the battleship, right? And so when he said those words initially, I think I was upset because he wasn't buying into my pity party. But all of a sudden I realized, oh my gosh, he's absolutely right. I mean, what's the alternative? Jason could be a half a world away living with his mom. I'd never get to see him. And in a couple of years, he was going to be getting his driver's license. I wasn't going to be taking him to school anyway. And then after that, he's going to go off to college. These were amazing times in my life with him, but I couldn't see it because I couldn't get over myself. So my question for all of you is, where are you going through life and looking at the have-tos when they could really be get-tos? I have to go on a diet versus I get to eat healthy food to nourish my body. I have to exercise versus I get to move my body in dynamic ways that bring me health. I have to go to work versus I get to go to a job that challenges me and pays me well. I don't have to take him to school. I get to take him to school. Now, I realize there's times in our lives when we really do need to change things, right? Things are not right, and discomfort comes as a result of maybe getting us to move. But even when that happens, we have an opportunity. We have a choice as to how we can deal with that situation. We can turn it around and look at it as a positive way of moving through an obstacle, and then we get to make the change. We get to take the action. We get to make the choice to make our lives better. So this week I challenge all of us, myself included. Where are areas in your life when you're labeling something as a have to, when all you had to do is turn it around to a get to really lift your spirits, change your focus, and build the world that you were meant to build? So there you have it. So thanks everyone. It's so great when you come and join me. I love being able to share my message with you every week. And I'll tell you what, if you're gaining benefit from these messages, if you feel them touch you, if you think that they have impacted you in any way, please make sure to comment and like these, as well as if you think they could impact someone else in your life, please share them. Either share them generally or share them in a Facebook message or in a private message so I can make sure to continue to keep this message going. So there you have it. It's Chris Natzke here with Black Belt Leadership Speaking and Coaching, and we'll see you next time on the Mind of a Champion Tip of the Week.